Hello, I'd like to show you Bluebird Garden. This journal is eclectic, but I'm calling it Bluebird Garden because it has a lovely garden theme and there are bluebirds on the cover here. This journal has two signatures and it's 6.5 wide by 9.25 tall. There's two signatures here underneath the ruffle, and it has a removable tassel. It's got colors that coordinate with the bluebird picture. And it's a little bit chunky. Cotton. Feels like brushed denim. And what I especially like about this is the neat pattern it has on it and how it kind of goes from light to dark. And I've got two layers of doily on the front, vintage doily. And this just comes open like this. These are vintage buttons. I thought they went nice with the color of the doily. And inside we have a doily that's lining the journal, so it creates pockets at the front and at the back. A little postcard here. Graceful Victoria, Canada. Lovely heritage house. And I thought this would make a good bookmark for this journal. Here's another one too. It's got a quote by St. Francis on one side and the Serenity, part of the Serenity Prayer on the other side. So eclectic with lots of flowers, botanical theme. A mini book here. Little tag here made from a greeting card. Here's a vintage postcard. Might even be antique, but it's vintage at the very least. Love the soft colors of it. And some food coloring dye I did with a plastic doily. Paper ruffle here, some button and beads, and some bling. Some tea-dyed paper with some stamping. Made a little secret journaling spot out of a card, greeting card, and then inside it also has a journaling card made from a tea-dyed greeting card. And this is vintage seam binding. I'm almost out of these. Tea-dyed, and it's a journaling card, and this is from a greeting card. There's a little journal spot here made from some tea-dyed paper that I did some pencil crayon rubbing on. Stamping, vintage button with an altar paper clip. The journal card, butterfly fairy, made from a greeting card. Tea-dyed paper. Same with here. And this opens up to create more journaling space. And a little pocket and paper for journaling on. And this was from an envelope that's been tea-dyed. Some tea-dyed receipts here for writing on. I stamped on this piece of vintage paper. It says 1925 on here. Don't know if that's how old the book is or not, but it was definitely an older book. Here's some journaling space here, and a tuck spot with some paper to journal on. This is from an old crochet magazine. A couple of spots to journal on. Another altar paper clip with a sparkly crescent moon on it. And on this side, got silk booklet with a magazine picture, some fabric there and a button sewn on, some tea-dye paper on the inside to make a little journal booklet. And over here, I've got a tuck spot made from a green card, vintage button, some tea-dyed from an old doily, some stamping here, lots of journaling here. And this is tea-dyed digital of my own from some watercolor that I did. I loved the colors of this, so that's why I scanned it and I use it sometimes for a page. Some stamping here. And this is made from a envelope. And I added a little bit of cotton there and a butterfly from a butterfly book. And this is tea-dyed wrapping paper. It might be vintage. And this was made from a little book. Oh, I love flowers. Some paper that I hand dyed. 1987 postcard. Little tag with some stamping on. Created a pocket out of this. I think it's place names for at a birthday party, but now it becomes a little secret journaling spot as well as here. And I think this paper here was for lining drawers, dresser drawers. Here's a journal card there. And you can write there and there as well. And there's a cotton pocket, tea-dyed. And it's got some writing space in here too. Here I made a faux wax seal using a little bit of gold paint on top of a glue stick. And I saw a tutorial on how to do that. I think I've got it saved under my favorite how-tos. But the secret with using these seals, I have some genuine wax seals, but I didn't have the genuine wax, is that you put it on some ice while you're waiting to use it. So it worked really well. I'm really glad I saw that tutorial. I just haven't got around to getting wax. My daughter got me some lovely seals, but I haven't used them yet. I think she got them for me for Christmas one year. And then there's a little altar paper clip with some beads on it. And here is journaling space, and this opens up all the way. I didn't glue it in place. It looks like an envelope, but it's actually tea-dye paper that opens up and you can journal all over that. See if I can get that back on there. There we go. Did some stamping here. Tea-dyed paper there. Some vintage lace on here. Stamping on here. Turned an envelope into a journal card. Had some fun tying bits of fabric and ribbon and things on some of the holes in this journal. Because this is, as you can see, 3-hole paper. And this here is made using part of an envelope. Tea-dyed paper doily, fussy cut from a bird book. And this was from an old novel. Really old. I tried to read them, but yeah. More journaling space. It's from a quilting magazine, I think it was. And I left this for putting secret things in there for writing on, journal spot. Little tag there, but you can also write in here. It's a great thing to do with old papers that you know are going to fall apart. You line them with something stronger, and then you have a journaling spot. Here's another one of those ones that I colored with pencil crayon and rubbing them onto a paper doily. Journal card with decoupage napkin. There's a vintage button. Here's a couple of hidden journaling spots. Some coffee dye paper. I don't use coffee dye paper as much as I used to. This is coffee dye too, but I'm starting to again. This is vintage doily here, vintage button. This is from calendar. And that's a picture of some, I think it's antique lace that I have. I tea-dyed the paper. And this here I think is also a tea-dyed scan of some watercolor I did. I just liked this gentle, subtle background. Perfect for stamping on. You can still write on it. Title, a little bit of seam binding there, stamping, a little bit of lace there. And I think that is vintage lace as well. Some tea-dyed writing paper. Some stamping. This page we've got a ruffle made. I doubled up some lace with some seam binding and then put a button that had the two kind of colors in it there. And put some little beads on it as well. This here envelope opened up to become a journaling spot. And this is some paper that has an odd texture to it because I dyed this using some grapes from my grapevine. I think it was the year before last I did that, almost out of that paper. And this is a scan of one of my little watercolors. It's tea-dyed in Paddington. Oh, everybody knows about Paddington, at least I hope so. What a sweet little bear. And besides, he liked to garden, so how can you not love a bear that likes to garden? And this is a postcard of a prickly pear cactus. Arizona. Stamping. Got wrapping paper. Another postcard, and this one is from, not sure. Actually, I can't read the word. Yeah. Stamping here and a vintage button there. A little bit of doily and some lace. Some more from that crochet magazine. Little tab there. Wallpaper sample. Fabric sample here made into a pocket. And a journal card made with some cross stitch fabric sewn on to some tea-dye cardstock, and there's a mother of pearl button there. I thought this went nice with this page. Owl bookmark for writing on. Here's a journal card as well for writing on. 3 buttons that have been in my stash for a while. Thought they went nice with this paper. And a little journal card made from a greeting card. And tea-dyed cotton. On this page, made a tuck spot out of greeting card and put in a tea-dyed, this is almost like a recipe card in there. And this is a tea-dyed scan from one of my, oh, I did that with, I think, coffee and a plastic doily. This is handmade paper, journaling space there, and a really old button. I don't know what that's made out of, but it's an oldie. And there's writing space on this side too. And there's an interesting old button as well. And this, you can write here, but if you pull it out, slide it out, there's some secret writing space underneath too. Oh, I love these botanicals. This is from a greeting card made into a journal card. An envelope made into a writing space and tuck spot. Some tea-dyed paper there to write on. And there's another of my own little watercolor fun things that I use as a background or as a page, and I tea-dyed that. It's a scan of the original. There's an envelope turned into a journaling space, and a tuck spot in here, plus journaling space here. And here's one of my little mini watercolors, flower pot. And this is a scan of it and tea-dyed. Put on some cotton there. And this here is a rubbing that I did using pencil crayons and a stencil. Well, that was fun to do. On this side, same part of that envelope we just saw, creates a couple of tuck spots here, some stamping, and some writing space on this side, and a belly band made from one of my snippet rolls. A little tab from a fabric sample, and this is wallpaper sample here. And I forgot to mention that there are some beads in both signature on the strings. Oh, this child, you wonder what she's looking at. I wonder if somebody's trying to make her smile and they're being really goofy and she's like, what? Reminds me of a picture of me when I was a baby. I'm outside and I have a similar look on my face, so I wonder what was going on in the yard at the time. Some stamping, little tab there made out of fabric sample. Genuine old Scotch tape there. And here, and then I put a little bit of washi tape and glued it too, because it was a weak spot on the magazine there. Some tea-dyed graph paper, and here's some handmade paper for writing on or collaging on. Writing space here. Here's another spot where I decided to tie something because I thought that went with this here, which is one of the rubbings I did with pencil crayon. And this button I thought went lovely with this wrapping paper. This altered paper clip. It's a vintage paper clip as well. And then I put in some cards and Bible verses in here, and a history card as well. I've got a cute vintage button on there and some vintage lace as well. And then on this side, it's a picture I got from a thrift store, and I thought it went nice with this. And this is one of my coffee stenciled pictures I did a while ago. On both sides. I did that by putting some coffee in a little spray bottle. And that's how I got that this side. And this side probably would have been maybe the negative of it. And this here is a little bit of, I guess, crochet yarn or knitting yarn. I thought it went nice with this card here, which I turned into secret journaling spot and a tuck spot. And a little pocket there for writing. I'm going to have to repair that. And a journal card there. Whenever I need to do something I put a bookmark so I don't forget. There we go. On this side, we've got a journal card made from a greeting card. Tucks under there. This opens up for writing space. Little tab, fabric, and some naturally aged airmail stationery. A little mini card made from a journal card. And this here is another writing spot. I thought it went well with the colors on this page. Made from pencil crayon rubbing. Altered paper clip, vintage paper clip with a vintage button. On this side, lovely cottage picture from a book, and it's put onto an index card that's been tea dyed and sewn. This is from a really old hymn book. Got lots of pages left from this hymn book, but it's really, really old. It was falling apart. And this was from when I was using up some leftover watercolors, and then I tea dyed it, and I also put on some sparkle. Here we've got a journaling spot there, leaf stamping that I did from one of the ferns in my garden. Little mini ruffle there, stamping, journal card with an interesting button on it. Here we've got pocket on either side with butterfly journal cards made from greeting cards. So there's blank on the back. And this here, writing notes. And then when you open it up, it has a little kind of mini journaling book on either side with some of this lovely crochet. I don't know what you call it. Do you call it crochet yarn? But anyways, I really like the colors in it. And it goes with the cover of the journal. And then here I'll give you a close look at what I put on all four of the ends of the signature strings. Greeting card here. Actually, this one's a postcard, and this really old button I thought went really nice with the colors. And I guess this is tatting, but anyways, it looks like it's antique tatting. I don't have much of it left. I made some tags. This one's made from a greeting card. This is from cardstock that's been tea dyed. And this is some tea dyed paper. Really nice quality paper. With some vintage seam binding. And this is painting I did with acrylic, so it's not a scan, that's the actual thing. And this is from a greeting card. It's been tea dyed. But the colors went nice together. It's a little tag here. Lots of writing space. And then when you open it over this way, there's lots of writing space. Lots and lots. Little stamping. And this page was fun to put together too. Little shell stamping there with some fabric and some lace and some sewing. And this is a tuck spot here. Journaling space, nice quality feeling paper. And over here, using part of a greeting card, I made a tuck spot. And there's a couple of journal cards. This is William Morris scrapbook paper. That's cardstock that's been tea dyed. And this lifts up so you can see journaling space underneath. And then on this side, it's attached to create a tuck spot here for journaling and a tuck spot here, some tea dyed paper. And over here we've got one of those Rolodex card things. It's been coffee dyed, I think that one was, and a couple of those William Morris scrapbook paper tags from a little booklet I got off of Amazon a while ago. Really like William Morris wallpaper. And there's more of my coffee dyed butterflies stenciled on the lovely, this was a postcard, yeah, lovely postcard. Thought it went nice with this wrapping paper. And I think this is a postcard too, but got a vintage button on there. And it looks like it's a vintage paper clip too. Yeah, this is a postcard as well. It's even got a thing that you can take the thing off and put it together, I guess, so you can have a private note inside. That's a adhesive strip. This is vintage. Even has the old tape on it from an old writing notepad. Graph paper that's been tea dyed. Some more of that crochet magazine. And this is just naturally aged. A piece of, is this vellum? Not sure if you call that vellum. But anyways, it's got daisies on it, and I thought it looked nice on top of the pattern there. And it's a picture of that doll, my antique doll. Nice paper there, nice and thin, tea dyed. It's a nice magic feel to it. Wallpaper sample. Here's a scan of a card that I made, journal card, and I liked it so much I had to scan it because I didn't think I could make it like that again. It comes in handy for spots like this where the colors go perfect. And then I just tea dyed and inked up the edges. Some more of that pencil crayon coloring I did, rubbing. This page we've got greeting card made into a corner tuck and some greeting card made into a journal tag. Looks like I coffee dyed that one. And a little bit of paper there to write on. And on this side, got a little booklet made from that silk fabric. Don't have much of that left, but I just thought it's perfect because it's samples, perfect for making little booklets. And a piece of handmade paper, nice and smooth on the inside for writing, and has a nice bumpy texture on the outside. For interest, you can still write on it, but it'll also be fun to glue some keepsakes on it or staple. The last page we've got, let's see, tea dyed receipt here inside a tea dyed greeting card. I thought this card went really nice with this and with the vintage buttons. And another little note spot there with some stamping on it. And a bear. He's just snoozing away in here. There's the back. And this is just part of the pattern. I didn't even have to do anything to it because it already has an age look to it. Thanks for watching along with me. It's July 1st when I'm recording this. I think I'll post it today. It's Canada Day here. Oh my goodness, I don't live that far away from the airport, and there were some humongous military planes that flew overhead. And I'm up in the attic here, so it's a good thing I wasn't trying to record back then. Just puts a chill up your spine. And it makes me grateful that we have a military, that we have people who are willing to, protect their country and help other people. And I'm also thankful that I live in a place where it's relatively peaceful. Yes, very thankful for that. I wouldn't mind if a couple of these showed up in our yard, but these are eastern bluebirds, and I live on the west coast, so I don't think I'm going to see any of these, but they sure are lovely. Very lovely. It looks like that's a cherry tree, cherry blossoms they're sitting on. Yeah, take care. Thanks for watching, and I really enjoy seeing you guys' flip throughs too. Hope I'm inspiring you, because I know you definitely inspire me. Blessings.